So this is the last display I'm going to do for a while. I did one of these videos for Facebook, but I was going to do one for here as well, for YouTube as well. So this is the body of the doll that I had on there that I called Jesus, but it's represented to a lot of people, I guess, and Jesus Christ that died 2,000 years ago. And what was sad about it was that, you know, he was on the cross, and you got him off, and then you put him in the he died, and you put him in the crypt, and then he resurrected, right? But then what did you do? You put him back on the cross. Yeah, you did. You wear it around your neck. You put him back on the cross, right? And you left him there for 2,000 years, 2,022 years, exactly, right, or whatever, right? So in those 2022 years, nobody actually like listened to him and heard him say, "Yo, get me off the cross." Right? So today I put him out, and all he said to me is, "Please get me off the cross." I said, "No. Those people out there, they don't want you off the cross, you know." So he said to me, "No. You have to understand. It's painful to be on this cross, right? Isn't it painful? If you were on a cross, bro, wouldn't you be in pain?
Yeah.
Yeah, like bleeding to death."
I wouldn't like it.
No, right? And if like people did that to you, would you like them?
No.
No, right? No, right?
No.
Right. So I'm saying, you know, you met Jesus, right?
I never met Jesus.
No, but you know Jesus, right? I mean, you heard about him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was on the cross for 2,022 years, you know, right? Because they got him off the cross, right? And then they put him in the crypt, right? And he resurrected, supposedly. And then what they do? They put him back on the cross, right? For 2,000. And so I had him on the cross this afternoon over here.
Saw the
Right. So he kept on telling me, yo, get me off the cross. I said, no, I can't because they want you on the cross, right?
Right.
So he said, no, you don't understand. It's painful to be on here. Please get me off. And after a while, I just said, you know what? Fuck them. I took him off the cross and I put him where you know. And here he's kind of free. Yeah. So and then the cross is there, just kind of blending in because it was wood, right? It was wood, right? So it's kind of blending in with all the other tribal stuff, man. Mm-hmm. That was there before the cross was long before the store, and will be there long after the cross is gone. But I'm saying, you know, you never heard him say, "Yo, get me." Are you Christian? Not Catholic? Or were you?
I'm Catholic.
Okay. You never heard him say, "Get me off the cross"?
No.
No, right? And freaking out. Today I put a doll on a cross, and it started telling me, "Get me off the cross." Yeah. So I'm thinking that it probably, and what he said is like, I've been telling people for a long time, but they just don't want to listen. Mm-hmm. Right? So and you know what they do? They listen to the people that wrote the books that make them to come to there to learn about the man that they crucified and they killed, and then became their Messiah, right? Mm-hmm. Yet our Messiah, right? Whatever. I was born Catholic, but I'm, you know, whatever. He's a really good guy, man. If you read his stuff, man. Yeah, man. He went and he studied Buddhism. Right. And he brought it back and he's tried to teach that to people, and then they crucified him. Right. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying, as a religion, right? Mm-hmm. Do you listen to the people that wrote the books to make the religion, or do you listen to the person that you're actually following?
I listen to the ideology.
Right. So that makes no sense, right? Yeah. So I don't know. If you were
stories, I don't know if are factual. I think they give a life blend.
It doesn't matter if they're factual or not. They represent something, right? That we should not have used to slaughter. Inquisition, Native Americans, to slaughter the South American, Aztec and Mayan cultures, to slaughter everything that they didn't believe in Christ, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think that Christ wanted them to do that? In any way, shape, or form? No. Right? Yet they did that, right? So they didn't do it under
the Crusades?
Yeah, the Crusades and the Inquisition and the conquering of America.
Comparing modern time compared to old time.
No. 500 years ago, bro. That's not that old, bro. And it's like that saying, oh, slavery was like 200 years ago, whatever it was, we abolished it.
Right, but where was slavery 200 years ago? Wasn't it every year? Wasn't it everywhere on every continent?
Yeah.
regardless of race.
Right. So what I'm saying, what happened?
Regardless of religion.
What happened to humanity? All of a sudden, they became so smart that they said it's better not to enslave somebody.
I think just as societies progress,
Right.
they start to realize
we had
slavery is not acceptable
we had
anymore.
that fight right back and forth in the south, in the north and the south, right?
Right.
And we won, right? But did the slave masters ever really agree that they made a mistake? Like in Germany,
lost, though.
but in Germany, right? The Nazis, right? When they put on the Nuremberg trials, right? And they were they tried, right? But were the slave masters, the people that owned those plantations, that owned those slaves, would they ever try for their crimes against humanity?
But they're dead now. Like, what
It
do
doesn't
we do?
matter. They're children. Because don't forget, they're
children.
No. But listen, their plantations that those slaves worked for free, and they basically they enslaved them, they raped them, they did anything they wanted to do to these slaves, right? That they considered less than human, right? And they made their fortune off these slaves, right? And then I said, okay, no more slavery, right? So the slaves were freed, but they had all that money still. So what did they do with that money, right? They made corporations, and then they hired the slaves back as employees. So slavery was never abolished, bro. Listen, I'm just saying. Slavery was never abolished, right? And the slave masters were never tried for their crimes, right? So that is what we as a society are. You said 200 years ago, yeah.
I didn't say it. You said it.
No, I'm saying, but
I
today.
think slavery was going on 1,000 years.
But the same thing. It's still going on today.
5,000.
It's still going on today. It never changed. Those people that made that said to them, like if I'm born, I'm like, oh, I'm going to enslave you. It's like, no, fuck no, man. God tells me not to do that, right? Right? You don't want to enslave me, right? It's not in your DNA, but it is in the DNA of some people. And for them to all of a sudden go from like, okay, yeah, and I did it, that was wrong. It's impossible.
So what's the solution?
There is no solution. The solution is actually, the solution is. The solution.
You're saying it's bad.
But the solution
situation.
but the solution is really ridding ourselves of money and greed and competition and the things that made us be able to enslave people and made people.
That's ideologically, but practically, how do you solve it?
You remove money from and you live like the tribal cultures did with no monetary system.
Okay. But
and
I mean,
shared everything
practically,
equally.
how you gonna do that?
No, I'll say the billionaires that control everything, right? You let them to come down and basically devalue money, and then you take those corporations, right? Instead of like paying you to work there, right? I'm gonna not pay you to work. You come work there 4 hours a day, right? That's all you need. If 7 billion people all worked, right? We all don't have to work for 4 hours a day. That's what the tribal cultures did. Work 4 hours a day, and they had 20 hours to do whatever they wanted, right? We 8 and 8, 8.
Yeah, sleep.
Right, and then you have,
Procreate,
and then the other 8 hours that we have free. What do? We protect, we chase, we do everything for money. We insurance, everything that we do for money. Right? If there was no money, it would be pulled out of the equation, right? So those corporations.
So we're here now. That's a lot to unravel.
Those corporations.
That's a lot to unravel.
Wait. It's called Ubuntu. If in the African culture, it's somebody's trying to actually promote it as a free economy, as an economy based on. It doesn't have to. See, if there's money and money's more valuable than human life. That's it. The purpose of money is to devalue human life because there's money, I can kill you because I need your money. Everything is in society is about money. You pull money out of the equation, I have no reason to kill you. We share everything equally. These corporations, instead of, okay, everybody gets a middle class home. Everyone. Everyone. And it's not communism, bro. It's what the tribal cultures did. If you go back, they didn't have a monetary system. The Europeans had the monetary system.
They had a barter system.
They had a system of sharing, bro. There was no poverty, right? There was no poverty.
What about the barter system, though? I trade you my cow for your.
But I'm talking about that's what we did. Hey, bro, what's up? That's what we did, right? As Europeans, the Mayans, the Aztec, the native people, they didn't do that. What they did was that they had a tribe, and everyone in the tribe had a responsibility. You go hunt, you go this 4 hours a day, come back, and whatever you get, we share equally amongst each other. There was no hierarchy, right? There was no. The only hierarchy was the in the Mayan culture was the
chief and the medicine.
Well, that and also the spiritual leaders, right? All right. The spiritual leaders that had that. And the spiritual leaders that had that connection to the spirit world, right? And had their knowledge, right? Right? So I'm also taping for YouTube here, so I'm sorry, You caught me in the middle. But so
I didn't mean to interrupt.
no, it's all good. I actually like bringing people in here.
Yeah.
I like bringing in here, and then so when I talk to somebody, it's not like I'm just talking to the, because usually I'm talking to this, and then what they do is they call the cops, and then I got, I was, I they sent me.
I've talked to you before.
I know. She on I was doing this on.
Some of your instruments.
I know. I don't remember you, bro.
Okay.
She on last Sunday, the 26th. I was out here playing some music. I was building that thing in there, and she called the cops on me 3 times. And her boyfriend came down and kind of like got in my face, and I kind of shoved him back a little bit. And they came back and said, "Oh, you actually had an altercation with?" No, and he came into my store. Boom, boom, boom. They sent somebody from Monmouth again to interview me, and then based on the interview, she decided that I should spend 7 days in Jersey Shore Psych Ward again. So I spent New Year's Eve because of her, and because the people don't understand. So at least if I have somebody I can talk to,
Yeah.
it's all good, because then they won't call the cops. Because you guys are over there making noise sometimes. Right? You're talking, you're smoking, and they don't call the cops on you, bro. But because I'm doing this at a certain time and these people don't like it.
I don't think most of the people are hanging their calls.
But you see, if you move into a place that's right above a music studio, and you gotta imagine that there's gonna be noise, right? And if you're gonna call the cops on the person, maybe you shouldn't have moved up there. And you should have moved on. They have townhomes in Neptune, probably at the same price that you pay for here. But you're not over a place that you can then manipulate and send somebody to a psych ward. I spent New Year's in a psych ward. Dude, that was the first year. In New Year's Eve, I was in a psych ward. I lost my freedom. Kind of like what the native people felt like when we came over and we said, "We discovered your land, so get the fuck out or we'll kill you," right? What do we do to the natives of this country? It's like, we discovered, no. It was our land first. No. We discovered it. Put it in the books. We discovered it, the clan. We discovered, no one did. We came here, we slaughtered Europeans. I'm a European. What's that? Slaughtered the people.
Who was we?
Your grandfather, bro. Our grandparents.
No.
Dude.
My grandparents.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
My great-grandparents are from Ireland.
It doesn't matter.
No, I'm going to tell you. My great-grandparents are from Ireland.
Yeah.
And they came here in 1902.
But
shit was already done.
It doesn't matter, but you're here.
I am here.
And you're here based on, it's kind of like you're on the sacred ground,